no changes from the squad we had last weekend.
So does that mean Chloe Kelly is still out, do you think?
Yeah, so Chloe Kelly won't be available tomorrow. She's progressing, she's making steps, but too early tomorrow.
And do you think you'll be rotating quite heavily? I mean, that's what obviously most people think you'll be doing, and giving some of the other players a bit of a rest, because otherwise it's a bit ferocious to do 3 matches in 7 days.
I think that's why we built this squad and full trust in the squad that when these short turnarounds, when they come, everybody's ready. And I think we've had a lot of players involved lately, whether that's to start or finish. And that's one of our big strengths in the squad, and that's the way we want to work. So we'll have players ready for tomorrow. We're in the here and now. It's about tomorrow. We have a very important game against Leicester, so that's what we're focused on.
And also, just finally, Leicester are kind of fighting for their lives because they're sort of falling away at the bottom right now. So I guess you're going to keep a very strong bench because you're aware of that.
We are always stronger, whether and that's again the strength of our squad, the power of our togetherness, the different qualities and the different tools that we have in the squad. So we have to start well, we have to finish well, and we have to look at what Leicester is going to do. I think it's a midweek game for them as well. They don't do much of this, it's to see how they manage. How they're going to manage this from start to finish, we won't know until tomorrow. So we plan for all scenarios. And again, I think that's been a super strength of ours, how we start and finish games.
Rose says she's going to be there in person tomorrow, so she won't be glitchy.
Okay, perfect.
Good to hear. Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks.
Andrew.
Hi Renee, hope you're well. Fantastic to see that Steph Catley has extended her time at the club. She's really excelled at centre-back since you switched her there. Has that move gone better than you could have ever expected?
I think you have to stay open-minded. I think you have to see what's happening in front of you. I remember the moment well. It was West Ham away, and Steph stepped in as centre-back for the first time, and she did so well, and she never left. I think she played maybe some minutes on the fullback position since then, but she's been there and she's been so good. I think that's who Steph is. She's so consistent. You know what you can expect from Steph, and I think she's intelligent, so she can play different roles on the pitch, and depending on even if you start in a certain position, what's asked of you in that position, and she's done that really well. So yeah, we're really happy. We're delighted that Steph chose to continue her Arsenal journey with us.
And just to follow up, both the men and women obviously fighting in Europe in the semi-finals of the Champions League. How's the mood around the entire camp at the moment?
I think Arsenal as a club should be very proud for both teams going very far in competitions and being on the European stage. I think it's not just achieved today, but it's achieved through time, and that's why I'm proud to be part of the club as well. I think there's great things being done. It's really inspiring to watch the men's team play, and of course I'm gonna. Won't be able to watch the game tomorrow, but might watch it back. We share facilities, so we saw some of them yesterday, and yeah, it's inspiring to see how well they're doing.
Great, thank you very much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma.
Yeah, hey Renee. I know obviously you kind of got to focus on your games and winning your games in terms of the WSL title race, but how much of an extra energy or a burst, I suppose, does it give you when Man City drop points and you know that potentially the race could be prolonged for another week?
We of course we follow the league because it's our context. So we look at what's happening around us. But at the same time, we're so focused on ourselves. We know we have 3 games in hand. They're all difficult, challenging games, and we have to look at what we can do. But for as long as it's theoretically possible, we'll push everything we can. But yeah, again, that starts with us and what we can do, and that starts tomorrow.
Obviously, Leicester are fighting for different things. Naturally, there's a playoff as well. So even if they finish bottom, it doesn't guarantee obviously the relegation. But in terms for a club that could potentially drop out of the WSL, what do you think kind of the significance and the impact of that is now, just as somebody who is within the top flight where you get broadcast money, etc. What do you think the impact would be?
Yeah, I think they're fighting. They're fighting for their lives. So I think we'll see that mentality on the pitch tomorrow. So we'll have to be prepared for that. We know how they want to play their football, and they'll add a couple of percentages if that's the context and the situation. So we'll have to be at our very best tomorrow. They'll be fighting. Yeah, there's of course playoffs between WSL and WSL2 at the end of the season. That's their context. Every team is hoping and fighting to compete at the very highest level. So that's their context. Our context is we're in a spot and we want to keep on putting pressure on and do what we can do and get our points, as many points as possible in these 5 last games remaining.
And can I just get your reaction to the news from Brighton that obviously they've got new plans for the purpose-built stadium for the women's team that they've just announced, which will be next to the Amex, a 10,000 capacity. Yeah, I suppose, do you think purpose-built stadiums are the way forward in the women's game, or would you prefer to go down the route that Arsenal have obviously chosen with the Emirates?
This is news to me. I've just come out of a team meeting. I think what's most important is that every club in their situation looks at what's best for us to help the football grow, help society grow, even help the men's and the women's team grow. And I'm very happy that I'm part of Arsenal because I think they've done that so well for so long. We're very proud to play at the Emirates every weekend, all WSL games. This was our last one in Champions League for this year. It was fantastic atmosphere last weekend. I think I mentioned it after the game, but I think after the penalty, the disallowed penalty, there was such a synergy between us and the fans. So just really grateful to be part of Arsenal. I think, like I said, every club needs to look at it from their own perspective and see what's best to move things forward, and that looks differently. I don't think there's one blueprint that works for everyone, so that looks differently for everyone.
Nice one, thank you. You should go check out the stadium.
Okay, yeah, I'll do. Cool. Yeah, I will. Thanks.
Thanks, Emma. Tom.
Hi there, Renee. Thanks for speaking to us today. I just wanted to ask you, obviously some news broke for us yesterday in regards to Katie McCabe and Bethany potentially moving elsewhere. It's kind of difficult to imagine Arsenal without those two players. I wanted to ask you specifically about Katie McCabe. You know, are there still talks at all at Arsenal about renewing, or is it completely stalled on that front?
Of course, my biggest respect for those players. They've been at Arsenal for so long. They've contributed to the growth of the team, the performances, the results of the team, everything that's been pushed in the club, bigger picture, women's football. So my biggest respect is going to those players. I love working with them. They're both top professionals, very intelligent players. They bring a lot to the group, a lot of energy and leadership in their own ways with their own personality. And I love working with them. And I'm fully focused on the here and now and trying to achieve as much as possible with those players in the squad. Unfortunately, Beth is not with us because of personal reasons at the moment. But they mean so much to the team. They mean so much to me as well. So I just want to focus on the here and now and what we can achieve together.
Understood. And you spoke on Sunday about problem solving, and I just wanted to ask you about problem solving within the squad, like over the course of your tenure, because I remember it being a big part of things initially, and you know, how has that kind of developed your speaking to the squad about that?
It's so good, and I think you're constantly learning yourself as well. I think where it's at the moment, it's new to me because as a player myself or in the environments I've been in as a coach, it's never been like this. And of course you take inspiration from others and from other environments, but the way it is here at the moment, it's something I didn't even know was possible. So it's not necessarily something we have been working towards and this is how it needs to be. We have been taking steps consistently, and we had a vision and we had a belief, and then where that takes you don't exactly know how that looks, but the way it looks, it's for me it's very inspiring, because I think the collaboration between staff, player is for me it's such a great environment to work in, and I think that's one of our super strengths. If you see at how players then find solutions on the pitch, the belief and confidence they can take from knowing that we have a diversity of tools, diversity of qualities. We have so many things that we can pull from, and doing that in the right moment. I think that's what we have been saying. That will be our next step. And if you look at that in the Lyon game, there's some really critical, crucial moments where we do the right things. And that's a big part is player ownership, and them reading it and communicating it and changing things. And it's so good. I love working with this team, and we want to take it even further. But at the moment, that's a big part of our the strength in the group that we have.